yeah, they make the channel froze. Not really who the panel chose. Put my name up like a banner boat. Acting tough and I'ma let her go. Name her who got a better flow. She can hang it up just like a telephone. Sticking up with the cost 10K to let it come see it. Millions there, yeah, make it come treat it. Spin, make it come beat it. I want the new in the machine out. Jewelry get caught like the temperature zero. On the borders, they call me the hero. Heavily, then they know what I be on. I'm the best, I'm the best, and you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get up, way up, get on, go. If I touch it.
Today, from the Superdome in New Orleans, it's Week 8 of the NFL on EA Sports. Dalton and the New Orleans Saints versus Aaron Rodgers and the Las Vegas Raiders.
The first opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Caesars Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Las Vegas Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game. So they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. Bringing him out is the future Hall of Famer, now in his 18th NFL season, Aaron Rodgers.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. That's some early fireworks on the first play from scrimmage.
The last fireworks I saw, July 4th, okay? Here they are celebrating the start of this game the exact same way. Explosive right out of the gate.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive, INT. But Charles, you know, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Aaron Rodgers. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Raiders are on the board first here this afternoon. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by a three-time Pro Bowler, owner of over 35,000 passing yards in 11 seasons, the veteran Andy Dalton.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And Thomas has it. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Dalton now to pass. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Andy Dalton. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. Kamara up the middle. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 20 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. The former ASU Sun Devil, Eno Benjamin with it. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And now to the air, Dalton. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Dalton's throw complete there to Thomas. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 19. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Dalton operating in the red zone now. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. To throw here, Dalton. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Rocky Sin. And the Raiders force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to...
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Davante Adams. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. On 2nd and 11 now. Dalton. There's Chris Olave. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 38-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 38. Play fake. Here's Dalton. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby. He continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Throwing on 2nd and long. Dalton over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Throwing, Dalton. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be fourth down. Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
And right side, they're going to go option here. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. The Raiders at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done. No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw taken in by Adams. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
The Saints in the hurry up here, clock continuing to roll. From the 25 on second down, Dalton under pressure, and down he goes. Give that sack to the linebacker, Jayon Brown. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On third down, here's Kamara. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on fourth down. Here's Blake Gillikin now. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. Oh, look at the juke. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. A final shot before half for Rodgers. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll be dropped at the 36. It's a good gain of 18 on a play that originated back at the 18. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, good work in that first half. More from you guys in a minute. But first, let's get to some scores right here on the day before Halloween. We'll begin across the Atlantic at venerable Wembley Stadium in London, where it was the visiting Broncos who were able to come in and get the road victory. Russell Wilson, strong in the victory, as his guys up their mark to 6-2 on the year. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Drake London, a touchdown reception. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. Well, some more great football coming your way in prime time to wrap up the month of October. It starts tonight. Could it be a Super Bowl preview? The Packers and Bills from Buffalo at 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow, Halloween night, Monday Night Football, the Bengals and Browns from Cleveland. And how this game has changed in importance in recent years. That starts at 8:15 Eastern. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Passing, it's Dalton. And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. Chandler Jones, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down. Here's Rodgers. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Buying time to his left. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is because you got to get his attention because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. One out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And Dalton to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. A give. This is Kamara. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 34-yard line. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10.
On the slant, complete to Benjamin. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They run it with Benjamin. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, it's Dalton.
Tries the left side and finds Olave.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
On the ground, Benjamin.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Dalton. They'll set up the screen for Benjamin.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
This is Benjamin.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Here we go on 4th down. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
His 4th rushing touchdown of the year, his 5th overall. And the Saints are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter.
Lutz good on the extra point. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Taken at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
On second down, Jacobs. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Flush to his right. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Now Rodgers. That is caught downfield. It's Waller. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Here's Rodgers to throw. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are right back in this football game.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Johnson, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen. Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
And he'll take this to the 47, but no further as they get him down well short of the line to gain. Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Another chance for Dalton. He'll get this to his running back, Benjamin. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now a dump off here complete. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And it'll leave them with 3rd and a full yard to go.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. First down now, but that clock rolling. And his throw is incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Dalton. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Now Dalton. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college and happen in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Las Vegas, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the